Despite whatever is going on in the Monsterverse power scaling community, specifically Inverse for this video, after the release of GXK, one of the most underrated, yet at the same time one of the most controversial topics has to be 𝐎𝐔𝐃𝐃𝐃 vs Supercharged Godzilla. The 2019 or the Ancient Times iteration, though not the one that had fought Shimo in the Titan War, the one Godzilla had used to fight Ghidorah way before the Titan War. I won't yap much and move on. So Supercharged Godzilla is applied to basically fight a Ghidorah much stronger than his state in Antarctica, which is stated to be weakened. And if you do really want to use cross-burst multipliers for inverse logic, there are 3 ways you can get him to 20 times base Godzilla. 20 times more powerful, not stronger. This is due to the Ghidorah 100 times storm statement, which is supported by Gregory High statement, this one, and then this one. You could argue he is only a 2 times supercharge nonetheless over his base form. Then we have to discuss Energized Godzilla versus Supercharged Godzilla for 𝐎𝐔𝐃𝐃𝐃 scaling. I have seen many people say that Energized Godzilla is Godzilla's full power, while his base form in the beginning of GXK, well, before he gets energized, is his weakened. Well, him being weakened. I will completely debunk this argument on the next video, but for today's video I'll just put this right here, that he is simply not weakened and is directly full power. Now we'll move on to Energized Godzilla, because he is not a simple supercharge, he's a massive supercharge, or basically an overcharge, since anything past a supercharge should be an overcharge, but whatever. And this is consistent due to Godzilla in 2019 consuming all the radiation that the nuke had imploded out all at once, while Energized Godzilla gets to assimilate it for 15.5 seconds. Even though this power plant should have way less radiation than the nuke, it's important to note that while Godzilla mixes these radiations with the radiation he already has in his body via nuclear fission or basically fusion reactions, just to increase the radiation on his body, not for him getting stronger. You could argue that, but I'm not gonna use that. Instead though, when Scylla had consumed 30 nukes before the GXK intro, before the time during the GXK intro, she could have gotten 30 times amped. Note, this is not that she is 30 times stronger than base Godzilla, it's just her being stronger 30 times over her 𝐾𝐃𝐃𝐃 state. And since she seemingly was able to at least survive or maybe tank, arguably being thrown around by Godzilla by a kilometer and then later getting one-shotted by the mouth, she should be 8 times instead of 10 times weaker than Godzilla, though again, not outright power, but radiation. She should be realistically 80 times weaker than Godzilla due to getting one shot in the mouth. The GVK intro confirms Godzilla can steal energy from enemies during battle, so Godzilla will have received a 3.75 times amp post-roam, mainly due to Mothra enhancing his abilities, seen in Godzilla Dominion. Just search Godzilla Dominion full comic and just watch videos of people explaining the entirety of the comic itself, so you can know what happened between post to the events of 𝐾𝐃𝐃𝐃 and pre to the events of GVK. Some stuff that I forgot, and that is Supercharged Godzilla being 80 times stronger than his base form via this, and his reaction or combat speed being faster than light. Another extra, his durability, being upscaling above his atomic ray by 73,000 times. But now moving on to Energized Godzilla, if we calculate all the amps, we get a multiplier of Energized being 116.725 times base, if you really want to use inverse multipliers or cross-burst multipliers for inverse logic. And of course, base evolved Godzilla, I call him base Pink Godzilla or just Pink Godzilla, being 2 times stronger or just outright superior to Energized. Now we can move on to 𝐎𝐔𝐃𝐃𝐃 scaling. To start off with his scaling, when he punches Godzilla with the charged 𝐎𝐔𝐃, he throws him to his ass. And since this is an enraged Godzilla by how he's just acting, or maybe he could be straight up bloodlusted, or maybe just normal, this should or would upscale the feat. And we can see Godzilla being stunned in there, or dazed in there, for a few moments. Then when Godzilla is trying to bite off Kong's beast glove, he just simply knocks off Godzilla's head, or his jaws from the beast glove. And if you clearly pay attention, you can see that the most relevant punches that are actually affecting Godzilla are the charged punches instead of the non-charged punches. Then we can simply move on to his durability, and for that we will be having to debunk Adam Wingard's statement. This is absolutely straight garbage. For one, Adam Wingard is stating what he thinks actually happened, when the novel outright states Godzilla put in all his weight to crush Kong, and Kong is not getting damaged. We can use another way to contradict this statement, and this is simply Godzilla stepping on Ghidorah and literally chokeholding him, while Ghidorah gets hurt and screams in pain, who basically gets upskilled by Muto Prime, who can cause earthquakes, and Godzilla stomped on her face too, then killed her. So this simply just contradicts his statement. He's just stating what he thinks is going on when it's not. We can then move on to the Beast Glove being able to tank Supercharged Godzilla Spiral Heat Ray. What I meant is that him tanking Spiral Ray Pink Godzilla's Heat Ray. And this is simply Kong tanking Shimu's Frostbite Blast with the Beast Glove for a long time. And while many people say that the Atomic Breath will just melt the Beast Glove off, remember that the Beast Glove is made out of Mechagodzilla's parts. Mechagodzilla's Proton Stream is a type of laser lensing projector weapon. This means he will be having to tank the amount of Hollow Earth energy he has inside himself, and while they also go into his throat. And while you could say it only applies to his throat cartridge, Hollow Earth radiation has power comparable to those of black holes, meaning it'll just apply to the durability of his entire body instead of the cartridge. So it immediately gets contradicted by what I said here just now, meaning he obviously tanks Supercharged Evolved Godzilla or Spiral Ray Pink Godzilla's Spiral Ray. Godzilla did have a Spiral Ray when he was supercharged back in 2019, but it doesn't matter. Just for Purple Godzilla's name. The Beast Glove is also for Kong's durability. Here is this calculation I made, or quantification. As for Kong's other stuff, in the events of GVK, when he was 50% heavily exhausted and weakened to 50%, obviously, he and a heavily beaten up Godzilla, way less than 50%, had considered each others as equals. So this would mean that Beast Glove Kong is either equal or just a little below base Pink Godzilla, but not by a landslide or anything. As for his reaction speed, I want to say thank you to King Devon Louis. Totally not blazing Devon Louis. But yeah, that's it for this video. If you want to discuss this, just download Discord and add my username, this right here. If you can't download it, then don't discuss with me on the comments. I don't discuss nor debate with anyone anymore in the damn comments. I just ignore them because YouTube causes a headache. To even